Hello and welcome to the Beyond Sapiens Exploration Devlog, where in the span of 8 short months, we're going from this idea all the way to a finished video game. In this video, we're going to talk about what we're starting from, where the game I'm developing is right now, and where we're going with it. First of all, let's talk functionality. It all starts with movement. Yes, I have set up movement in this game.
Woo! Yeah!
Anyways, I've also implemented a grapple function. It's a bit like the grapple that Widowmaker uses in Overwatch. I've always found that kind of grapple mechanic pretty entertaining, gives out a lot of fun, but in Overwatch is not exactly a puzzle game. But I really did like how a grapple mechanic such as this could work in a puzzle game, having that freedom to move fast across terrain and solve puzzles. That's something that I've really grown to get attached to with this grapple mechanic. I've also implemented a vision mechanic. Normally, you'd find this sort of vision mechanic in all kinds of games that have special sense. I'm thinking here Batman Arkham Knight, or those kinds of games where you go into a special mode and have a special vision mode. I kind of like that, but then again, there's a huge potential to use that for puzzle games, to see the unseen with the touch of a button. Yeah, because that's pretty satisfying, isn't it? I've also implemented a jump pad mechanic inside the instances that will contain the puzzles to be solved. If you don't have limits, if you don't have boundaries, it becomes very, very hard to direct the player towards his objective. And players will be mostly inclined to just abuse the system. Somewhat like Portal forces you to use the portal gun only where you have those specific metal plate things. Don't really have a good name for that. But anyways, other than that, there is an inventory mechanic which has been implemented. I'm not going to go too much into the details of that right now because there's going to be a special video just for that coming out real soon, as there is going to be a special video about every single one of these functions that I'm talking about. There's also a medkit mechanic and a portal mechanic. Now the portal mechanic, don't get fooled by the name, you don't actually make portals with it because that would be too much of a rip-off. But no, it's just portals that you can use to move around levels. That is pretty much the gist of it. When it comes to assets, I'm mostly using Megascan's assets to get this done, as I'm pretty sure it's visible for all of you nerds out there. Because with an 8-month time limit, and with me being someone having no experience whatsoever concerning coding or modeling or anything related to game design, there is no physical way I can learn Blender or any sort of 3D software. I did learn Blender quite a bit now. I did learn the basics and I've started modeling my way in Blender. But there is no way I can make professional grade assets or anything that comes close to Megascan's quality in 8 months' time. So we're just going to be mostly relying on Megascans and also using some custom assets when it comes to the puzzle levels and so on. So far, the first level of the game is done, or is mostly done. It's what you'd call a flagship level. More about that in a later video. And we've also got a special level that I've designed just to mess around and test mechanics. As you can see, it's ridiculously oversized because I have turned, well, this is a pretty big secret concerning my game, so everything in this game is scaled really, really, really small. That's why there's sometimes issues with the lighting and issues with multiple things, not because I'm completely useless at my job. Moving on, where are we going with this? This is all good and fun, having movement, having grapple vision, but that doesn't make for a fun game. So where are we headed? What are the objectives for this month? Well, for this month, I'm planning on finishing up this flagship level, the main level, and there's going to be 2 more flagship levels to come, which are basically levels where the player goes in and then returns to, and then goes from these levels, goes into other missions, and then returns to the flagship level, and then goes into another mission and returns to the flagship level. There's going to be a few of those since I am a fan of non-linear level design. More about that in a later video. I really do want in this month to finalize the mechanics that I already have going, the functionalities I already have going, and thinking about removing or maybe adding 1 more or 2 more functions at the most. We don't want to get too many functions in this game. I'm not going to be able to make a game in 8 months that has more functionality than a ridiculously overpriced MMORPG that took like 10 years to make. And the last thing I'm planning to implement this month is going to be the basis of a decision system. system. Yes, I am a huge fan of making decisions in video games, but you might want to take that with a grain of salt, because I don't mean any decision. I don't like those decisions that you make that make absolutely no difference. Oh, I chose conversation option A. Oh, I chose conversation option C. But it all goes down to the same thing. No, I'm not a fan of those types of decisions. What I am a fan of is meaningful decisions. And despite all the lies told by major gaming companies, there's really few games that have got meaningful decisions. So I do want to make a game with meaningful decisions, or no decisions at all. So I'm definitely going to think about how to implement that and how to get your decisions to actually matter. Thank you for watching, and join me in the next video where we'll be talking about inventory and inventory systems and why, maybe, just maybe, a lot of us have been getting it wrong for quite some time.